I'm Erick Mateos, and today we'll be discussing the hottest tech with the review of the LG V20 and Nintendo's do or die strive for success.
Hi, I'm Jesse Valdez. We will also be taking you around the net with a funny viral video, as well as exposing something that was on our Facebook page. But first, what happens next in this video?
You think they'll fix it again?
I don't know.
God damn it! God damn it! God!
Francis?
Oh wow, this guy is getting crazy. Stand back,
down.
people.
No!
So what happens next? A. He has a heart attack. B. The guitar hits the TV. Or C. He destroys his Xbox.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Welcome to the crossover. I'm Jesse Valdez, alongside with Erick Mateos, that finally decided to join us after he became a famous celebrity. Tell the viewers, where have you been, man?
I went to Denver for the weekend, and that's why I wasn't here for the last show. For the weekend, and so I was gone for a little bit. Went to go watch the Broncos game versus the Patriots. My brother's a big Broncos fan, obviously. And we just went to go see them lose.
Good. I'm sure it was like freezing in that stadium.
Oh, it was freaking cold. It was. We couldn't handle it. I mean, I love cold, but it was way bad. We couldn't handle it. We had to leave.
Cool. And he also almost didn't make it here. Like, he literally almost didn't even make it to this show. I was about to do a stand-up by myself, but luckily he made it here.
I made it. I was a little hungover. You know, it was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
You did New Year's like 3 times in a row or something.
Got to do it with the family, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't even show up and hang out with us on New Year's, but that's cool. That's cool. We'll all remember that. Well, anyways, so in that video, you saw it.
Oh, yeah. So what happened? Oh, man, that was... I couldn't believe it.
It's crazy because, okay, so honestly, I'm picking A. I think this guy has a heart attack. I think he just, runs out of air, starts gasping. Like, wow. That or he trips and hits that TV. I don't know.
That or he just leaves. Hopefully he just leaves, walks out, cools off by himself. But let's see what happens next.
What is your problem?
How do you keep calling me fat online?
How do they know you're fat?
I don't know how they know I'm fat! God damn it! God damn it! God damn it! Okay.
What did you do?
Well, the goddamn thing's red ringing.
We're not buying you another one.
Well, it's my money. I'll buy one if I goddamn want one. God damn it! The third one this year. God damn it! You think they'll fix it again?
I don't know.
God damn it! God damn it! God!
Francis?
What?
Calm down. Calm down.
No! Damn it! Shit! All you ever do is call me fat on the thing, God!
Wow, I can't believe that's what happened. So he ended up getting the guitar, which we saw, and he just ends up smashing the Xbox.
He just makes it worse for himself.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, I had to fix this like 100 times. Because remember back in the day when you used to get the Red Ring of Death?
Yeah, well, I never had an Xbox, but I always
Me neither.
remember my friends always crying about the damn Red Ring of Death. And that's when we would prove them wrong.
They used to do like this crazy stuff where they would wrap a towel or they would have it balanced. They would use the force of nature. Like, I don't know what these people were doing, but I mean, if you didn't want to get the Red Ring of Death, just don't get an Xbox. But then again, back then, like, you had Halo 3, which was pretty cool, and Gears of War. But yeah, so he ends up smashing the Xbox and breaking it. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's an Xbox. Like, it's worthless anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyways, let's keep it on tech with a review with a new phone.
Yeah.
The LG V20.
In tech years, it's not so new anymore, but it's new. It's pretty new. And it's the LG V20. I had to get it while I was out in Denver. My phone died. The touchscreen wasn't like functioning the way it was supposed to be. So I went to the store and get this. I had an upgrade, so I might as well just get it. And it's pretty nice. Kind of miss my older phone, but it's something that I could get used to. It's like the Swiss Army of phones. It has everything jam-packed into it. It has 2 cameras like the iPhone 7. Fingerprint sensor in the back. Also works as a button. Volume rockers on the side. High-quality DAC. Headphone jack. USB Type-C. Bottom-firing speaker. Which is something that I actually don't like too much about it. I love the front-facing speakers from my old phone. The screen's obviously Quad HD. It has a top screen, which helps out with the tools.
Yeah, it's legitly its own screen. It has nothing to do with the full screen itself. Mm-hmm. A question I have for you. I mean, you're obviously your old phone, Motorola, decided to take, decided to die basically.
Yeah, I used and abused it a little bit, so this is kind of my fault.
So you ended up getting the LG, and you knew me back in the day. I was all about the LG when it came to the TVs. Yeah. When it came to the phones, I actually had the first fully touchscreen phone that came out through AT&T, which was the LG View. Mm-hmm. This was back in high school. This is when phones weren't full touchscreen. They had buttons. And it was sweet. And but the more the more LG phones I got, the more I didn't like LG. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now here you are with an LG.
Yeah, I've always been like an LG, not the biggest fan of LG either. I've always liked to stick with like with the hottest companies, or not even the hottest companies, but just the most unique companies. And I finally went with LG. They started doing something a little unique. I wasn't a big fan of the G series either. The G5 was kind of a flop also, with the quality being part of it. So I was looking at the V20, and I've been hearing a bunch of great reviews about it, how it's almost the closest thing to the Note 7, and obviously the Note 7 flopped, so a lot of people are looking for an alternative for that. And this is an alternative to the V20s. I mean, to the Note 7, since it has a big screen, has tools, it has dual screen, so you could have 2 apps running at once. What everyone loved about the Note 7. No S Pen, unfortunately, but it's an all-around great tool of a phone. And battery lasts a while, removable back. You could
take the battery out. Yes. How's the battery life when it comes to keeping its hold and charging it?
I'm a heavy user of my phones, so it's great. It lasts me a while. I have no problems with it. It lasts me pretty much the whole day. I don't even have to charge it overnight. That's how confident I feel with the battery so far right now. So it's cool. And then obviously when I start getting more stuff for it, I'm probably gonna get another battery just to carry around. Whenever this one dies, I'll get another one, so it's like a brand new phone again. And there's no real big complaints other than no speakers in the front. But
and it also runs off of the USB Type-C, which I have, and people think I'm crazy. Like, what is that? Well, basically what it is it's the next step. Like within the next 6 months to a year, that's going to be the standard. Yeah. It's supposed to be, you can feed data a lot faster. It charges your phone a lot faster. You can flip it. It doesn't have to go in a specific way. That's what my phone has, and like I said, it's more of towards the standard, the industry standard here soon.
Yeah, you're seeing it on the MacBooks now. All they have is USB Type-C, 4 ports on the Air Pro, I think, which is a big step for them. Something that not many people like, but it's a step to the future nonetheless.
And you know me, I mean, obviously there's a reason why you picked this LG phone over a Samsung and
Yes,
the iPhone.
Samsung and iPhone. I mean, I saw the iPhone there. I was tempted to get it. There's no issues with me getting an iPhone. I just don't really like it. I just don't like that I can't have expandable storage. That it's overpriced, even though this one's a little pricey for it. But I just hate how they got rid of the headphone jack. Same with Samsung. Their audio jack isn't the greatest quality either. Samsung is alright. They've gotten better. This phone's cool, but I wanted to give LG a try. I've never given LG a try, and I've given Samsung a bunch of tries. I had plenty of Samsung phones, and they always fail on me. So
we'll see how this goes. What's the most unique thing you would say about this phone?
Maybe the screen, the second screen on the top, and also the 2 cameras in the back, which are awesome. I mean, one's the regular 16 megapixel camera, and then the other one's an 8 megapixel, but it's a wide angle, so I could pretty much get, if I'm close to a building, I could take a whole picture and then some for it. So it's really cool. It's really fun to use. Also, it has a HD recording, which is kind of cool. Even when you're recording, you could adjust it to where the microphones catch more noise from the front than from the back, or you could adjust it the other way, whatever way you like it. It has all this customizability for the cameras and the microphones, and even for music, which is awesome for me. I think it's cool, and it's just jam-packed with everything, I think.
If you had to give it a review out of 10, what would you give this? 1 out of 10.
I'd probably stick with an 8.
An 8, so that's a pretty good phone.
It's a good phone.
Like I said, if you haven't gotten the bandwagon where you got to follow Apple or Samsung, and you really want something unique, because they're not really doing anything unique. No. They got the money, they got their audience. Why do anything unique? LG still doing something unique. So this is a option. Yeah, this is definitely an option.
They're doing what most people want, is sticking with the removable battery and expandable storage, which iPhone does none of that, and Samsung does the expandable storage but no more removable battery. And that was one of the biggest features for the Note line in general, and not even the Note 7 had no more removable battery. So this is a great alternative if
you're looking to get a new phone or you break something, huh?
Yeah.
Also, another thing is I'll probably be looking at getting a new phone, because Microsoft always fails me, and I don't even know why I have this phone. Yeah. I'm an avid Nokia. I've loved Nokia, had the Nokia 1020, loved that phone. I've been with Windows since Windows 6.1. You've had Windows even before that, and it's. I think it's time finally for me to move on. They bought the Lumia brand, so it's no longer Nokia. It has that ugly Microsoft name on it. So I might either be waiting for Nokia, or I might be getting. For sure, it's going to be something Android. And I've only had one Android phone and actually liked it, so it probably won't be too bad. But another thing to talk about is BlackBerry and how they're going out.
Bye BlackBerry.
They're trying to do one big last bang with one of their phones. They failed.
We'll miss them for the security. I mean, they're the most secure phones, pretty much, and that's their emphasis is on security, and that's going to be something that's going to be missed.
So maybe check them out too. See, they're supposed to be going out with one last bang with their very last phone, the Canadian company. We'll see how they go. If you're really into the tech and phones, I mean, like I said, there's more out there than just the Samsung and iPhone. But let's move into something that's still tech, and we're talking a legendary, used to be a giant back in the day, Nintendo. Mm-hmm. They have the system called it's basically what it is it's the handheld market, which they dominate, and it's the home console into one, and it's called the Nintendo Switch. Yeah. And basically Nintendo is in a do or die situation. What are you thinking about the system?
It looks cool on paper. I mean, I'm always open up for new ideas, and this is a new idea. This is a new way of seeing gaming as a whole. So I want to see, I hope for them to be successful, but it's a hard thing to do with a tablet, pretty much.
Yeah. And apparently when you take it off the dock, it runs 60% less CPU than on it.
That's a big
And I don't know if that has to do with for it to not overheat or battery power or what.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to be a concern. Another thing is the new Zelda game is not only coming out for that, it's still coming out for the Wii U, I believe, and that. So if you bought a Wii U for Zelda, it's coming out on the Switch now. So, I mean, I guess that can be like a game changer for people. Mm-hmm. I thought this idea was, I've always thought Nintendo should do something like this where they combine, their handheld business and their home console business into one. So I think it's an awesome idea. But I would take it a step further. I think they should have thought about doing something. You know how they're nowadays, I don't know, you guys probably seen this on your phone. Yeah. Nintendo's going to start whoring out their games to make some money. You know what I mean? To make some money. And I've always thought, well, you guys dominate the handheld system, handheld business. Why not just make your next handheld system a cell phone?
Yeah, and they've always owned their games. Like, no one could touch Mario at all.
Yeah.
So it was a great idea, and didn't they have a concept like that a little while ago?
They might have a really, really long time ago where they wanted to make something like that.
Yeah, it was like a blueprint, and it was a great idea. I mean, Sony did that with their Xperia, where you could exclusively play Sony games on your phone through your PS4, which is awesome. and that was something that would be awesome for Nintendo to do, and they would probably dominate even better, since Sony had some issues with their stuff. But
Yeah.
they
Well, the PSP's not here, the Vita's not here because they couldn't dominate a market like Nintendo.
exactly.
So I think it would be cool to put their exclusive on a cell phone. They could still have Nintendo games on Android and on the iPhone, but I think that would have been the way to go too. But
Yeah.
this is do or die for them. So they seriously need to step it up, and this has to be the system. I've been a Nintendo avid forever, you know, since I was a kid, you know, and I'm very committed with Nintendo. Yes, I will buy this next system. It better be good or else I'll be gone, just like I'm about to, you know, drop the Windows market here soon.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get it. I haven't had one since the
Oh, this
64.
guy's been saying he's been trying to get a Nintendo system since, what, the Wii?
Yeah.
And he never got the Wii, never got the Wii U. Oh, you know, do you have at least a 3DS?
Yes, I had a 3DS.
Okay, well, at least he had that. I don't even know if I played him in anything, but...
Yeah. it was kind of, for me, didn't like the whole handheld anymore. It's still cool, but
that's where it's going, though, kind of.
Yeah.
Another cool thing that Nintendo's doing that I will give props with this system. Nintendo's always been about, you know, keeping it their hardware, kind of. You know, even with the GameCube. When the GameCube came out, they kind of had to shy away from the cartridge gaming, which I know they really didn't want to.
Yeah.
So they ended up creating their own thing, and I think they partnered up. It was either with Philips or Panasonic, one of them.
Yeah.
They ended up partnering up and making, you know, the small discs, and I think that system actually came out with that partnership in Japan, but never made it to the U.S., and then it was just called the Nintendo GameCube here in the U.S. But that's what they made. They, you know, they had to go to disc, but they went to disc their way. And now they finally can go back to cartridge because cartridge isn't as expensive as it used to be.
yeah, it's way cheaper.
And the cool thing about it is everything's fully loaded. Like, there's no loading screens.
No.
Your memory's on that. And nowadays, everything's cartridge. We're recording the show off of off an SD card.
Yeah.
And that's a cartridge, you know, in a different form. So it'll be cool to see what they do with that as well.
Yeah, I like it too because, like, with the PS4 or something with that, it's a disc. It's a Blu-ray disc, but yet it has to download the whole game into your system. And with 500 gigabytes on your system, that's not even enough anymore.
It's not even anything
and that
anymore.
we used to have memory cards with 8 megabytes. And now we're 500 gigabytes, and that's not enough. So it's kind of it's a bummer for everyone that knows that has a PS4 and has 10 games, and their system's already out of memory. Now I gotta switch to a terabyte for my PS4.
Jeez.
So it sucks.
So it's definitely a do or die for Nintendo. I think it's coming out in March, which is really around the corner, so that's going to be crazy to see. I wish them luck. Yes, I will be buying the system, but now we're going to switch gears into something that was hitting our Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
And our Facebook page it's still new, but it's up and running. It's starting to get some follows. Please keep following. Share our page. Let people know about us. But we put up a post about a conspiracy theory. Like we said, we were about the conspiracy theories, and it was about 9/11.
Yeah.
And the Twin Towers.
It was an inside job.
And yeah, so we're actually going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about why we second guess some
Yeah,
things.
we're gonna kind of pretty much argue with our fact checkers that were on the page, and they brought up some alright points, but even then it's still kind of fishy.
Well, the thing is I mean, I get it. Things happen coincidentally.
Yeah.
But with so many coincidences,
Yeah.
like, I don't think that many could happen and just be like, oh, well, it's just a coincidence.
Mhm.
It's not. Like, you look at the Twin Towers, I mean, the best way, here's to look outside of the box. The best way to control the people is through what?
Fear.
It's through fear, you know? And not saying Bush was reelected because of it, but it could have been.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know what I mean?
it all happens either right when someone takes office or right when someone's leaving office or when the new election comes through. Always a controversy happens, and this was kind of in between where it was after he got elected. Some weird stuff was going on.
Yeah, I heard something about like the Twin Towers. I don't know if they got bought out or if they were trying to sell it or there was a contract or something with that.
And then one of the owner, I think he like put insurance on it like before all this happened. I think it was like in June.
Really?
So it was like 2 months before they
Because
collapsed.
supposedly there was important documents in there.
Yeah.
There was really important documents in that. in the Twin Towers, and
I mean, they're World Trade Center, so there's some.
and these were built in the 70s, the late 70s, I believe, and they got hit, and it's very unfortunate because people died. And we're not disrespecting anybody, you know, who might have had family that died. But how did this happen? The planes hit.
Yeah.
Somehow the jet fuel or whatever
Jet fuel
melts the beams, steel beams,
Yeah.
and the whole thing collapses perfectly down. Doesn't tip over. Doesn't tip over or break off and fall. It just completely falls.
Just like a demolition.
Just like, you know, like it was planned.
Yeah.
And people say, well, if it was demolition, that would have taken months. You know, okay, it would have taken months. Somebody goes in, pretending they're somebody else, and they go and do that. It's weird because if you watch, there's this documentary. It's called Loose Change 9/11. It's Loose Change 9/11 Final Cut, and it makes like you're an adult. You can take in whatever you want, but it's really good when it comes to showing that stuff. It really is, and it talks a little bit about the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and it shows this cool thing about, it's not cool, but when it's falling, you see little explosives going off, little dust bubbles or whatever you want to call it, while it's going down.
It looks like little dynamite.
And it's this wasn't the first time that the World Trade Center's, you know,
gotten attacked. Yeah, I mean they've had a van run
underneath
through the
it.
bottom.
Yeah,
that's pretty much like the weakest spot because all the weight is in the bottom. The plane's hit on top, and you're gonna say a plane's gonna knock down a whole building.
I think it's crazy because I just don't understand how it would fall so perfectly like that. I don't understand.
And then they damaged the building on the side.
Yeah, so a building fell, Building 7.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the closest either.
Yeah.
So it's
it fell. No one knows how it fell. It just fell.
It just fell, yeah. Somehow it got damaged, and it's not even the closest building to the World Trade Centers. Not only that, I mean, the plane in Pennsylvania, there was like just the tail of the plane. Like where was the rest of the plane?
Yeah, so
everything burned down but luggage and passports of the terrorists.
Yeah, so like literally the whole plane's gone. And there's other plane crashes where you see the plane obviously messed up, you know, but it's there. But this plane crash, there was nothing left except for luggage and papers. How did those not get burned, but the plane got burned? That's the same as the Pentagon. There was a luggage there, but there was no plane.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it is they were doing a renovation on the Pentagon, right?
And, yeah, not only that, I mean, the Pentagon is like one of the most secure buildings. It's the most monitored, recorded building, and there was not one video footage of a plane crashing into the building.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of shows it, but it doesn't really. Like, it doesn't even look like a plane.
Yeah.
And they did renovation, so where the building got hit, nobody was there, which is kind of, you know, a big coincidence.
Yeah.
Another thing about it is there's been buildings hit by planes before. There's been buildings that were burned for hours and hours and hours that were much older than World Trade Centers.
They were bricks.
And yet they stayed. They stayed up. So I mean, take it into what you want to say. Say I'm crazy. I don't care. Say that I'm not crazy. Agree with me. Agree with both of us. Watch that documentary. Maybe tell us why you think we're wrong. I don't know. I just think it's weird. I mean, we can go into this so much. It's just really hard to do that because of the fact. I mean,
we just keep finding more questions than answers, which is the unfortunate part because we can't figure anything out.
Another thing is the Bush family were really, really cool with the Bin Laden family back in the day.
Exactly.
So how is it? I don't even think Bin Laden had anything to do with this.
Yeah, and also even Senior wanted to go to war in the Middle East. He was out there when he was in his presidency. So then his son does the same thing pretty much. It's like they all had the same plans or the same ideas of taking over the Middle East or just being there for conflict. And obviously for the biggest controversy is their oil.
Yeah, and you know that makes the world go round and round.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. Just we can't go too big into this, but check out that documentary. It's called Loose Change 9/11 Final Cut, and just look at some of the conspiracies and take it as is. take it as is. Whatever you want to believe, you can believe. I believe that there's more to it. And maybe you can persuade me to think differently. So, we'll actually have more conspiracies where we can get a lot more into it. 9/11 is just a huge one.
It's
huge to get into.
More time, more segments, more. We gotta cut it up.
Yeah, we would have to cut that one up. So, let's go ahead and wrap the show, Eric, huh?
Yeah, just follow us on Facebook at Media Crossover and on Twitter with Media_Crossover, as well as change your following options on Facebook to see first so you get notified, because we do this live. And just follow us.
Yeah, follow us on Facebook, man. That's the thing that we need. We need to get the follows up. We need to get noticed and recognized. You know, be cool, you know, have a heart and help us out. Make sure to catch the show live, like Eric was saying, on our Facebook page every Tuesday as the crossover airs through Facebook Live at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Our MCE block of programming will air throughout the day leading up to the show. So it might start at 4, 5, 6, or 7, but the show will be at 8. And that's just to build up our views, you know, and get it going. So our Facebook Live is every Tuesday if you want to catch the show. Like Eric was saying, you know, we want you to see our stuff, so hit the see first button on the following tab, and that will help us out a lot. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. We're gonna have some cool stuff to present, more cool stuff to present, cooler things. If you want to get into more conspiracies, we're gonna have those on here.
Or give us ideas of what you guys want us to discuss, and we could put it up on the show. Give us better ideas, feedback. All that works for us. And until then, I'm Erick Mateos.
And I'm Jesse Valdez, plugging you into everything that matters. Thank you for watching.